today I'm outside. I'm going to show you how to get started for the summer months of cutting your grass. Now I'm going to show you the basic steps of preparing your lawnmower for cutting your grass for the first time of the season for 2014. Now it's very important because a lot of people tend to put their lawnmowers, the lawnmowers up for the next year, but when they bring it out, they do not prepare it for the current season or the current year, the summer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. As you can see, I have a Craftsman lawnmower. I have two. I would suggest that you check out your local hardware stores because a lot of them have the lawnmowers where people have tried it, didn't know how to use it, they brought it back, and you can get those at a very discounted rate. Now this particular lawnmower retail value at $600. Well, I got a brand new lawnmower that is still covered under warranty for only, I think I paid like 80 some dollars for it, and it has the bag, and it is a self-prepared lawnmower. Now ladies, I'm going to speak to my ladies right now because a lot of us feel as though we can't cut grass, you don't know what to do. Well, Sonyabeonit is here to show you what to do. But the first thing before you get ready to cut your grass, you want to know how to prepare your lawnmower for cutting your grass. So with that in mind, let's get started. Okay, so I have a Briggs & Stratton Craftsman Platinum 7.25 190cc lawnmower. Now there's a couple of things on this lawnmower that you must check for. Ladies, all lawnmowers are basically the same. You have your gas tank here. Somewhere it's going to be located for your oil. You have a filter, and in the very front where you see this cord, this is where your spark plug is at. So before you prepare yourself to cut your grass for the very first time of this season for 2014, this is what I want you to do. Over here to the side is where my filter. You have a filter. You want to take a screwdriver, which I don't know with my screwdriver. Y'all know I will use anything. If I can take this, let me see, can I take this off real quick? Having kids just does not allow you to keep up with tools, especially if you have boys. You're just not going to keep up with your tools. But you would take this off, and it may, on your lawnmower, it may not be located in the same area, but you do have a air filter. Please be advised of that. So this is my air filter. I want to remove my air filter and see there's two ways you can clean this. You can clean this soaked in gasoline and let it air dry for a day, or you can go to your local hardware store and just replace this air filter. This is going to keep everything flowing. It's going to keep everything flowing good in your lawnmower. Personally, I'm just going to take mine and dust it, and I'm going to tell you why. These bugs are bad. I'm going to take it and dust it. It cleans it somewhat, but I would suggest that you just go out, since this is your first year, your first time trying it, go out and buy your new filter. I'm going to place my filter back into its compartment. Close that cabinet up. Make sure it's lined up properly or it's not going to close. These bugs about to get on my nerve, y'all. But that's part of outside. And I love being outside doing yard work. Make sure you tighten that cabinet back up very tightly with your screwdriver. That's the first thing you want to check, is your air filter. In the very front of your lawnmower, right here on my lawnmower, you have this cap. This is where your spark plug, this ignites the lawnmower to start. This is another important part of your lawnmower. You want to make sure that it looks okay. And a lot of times you may have to get a socket wrench to take that off. If it looks real dark and built up around the spark plug, you want to go ahead and replace that. But for the most part, spark plugs would last, I want to say, a couple of years if you're not doing any professional landscaping of any sort. The next thing you want to check for is your gas. Ladies, it is very important to fill this up with gasoline. But if this is your very first cut for the year, I want you to go out, instead of buying just regular gas, because normally that's what a lawnmower requires, is just regular gas. Instead of regular gas, I want you to go ahead, in your first cut, I want you to fill this up with super gas. And the reason that I want you to fill it up with super is because it's going to flush through the carburetor to make sure that carburetor stays clean. If you do that, you won't have any problems for us taking it to the lawn repair service, and they're charging you $85 or more to take this whole unit off, this whole top off, to flush and clean out your carburetor. So every now and then, and especially your first cut, because this lawnmower has been sitting up for a whole year. I didn't cut over the winter time as I normally do, but for your first cut, you want to go ahead and get your gasoline can. I have this gasoline can. I'm not gonna fill it all the way up with super. I'm probably gonna get about $1 or $2 worth. So maybe about a gallon of super unleaded gasoline to place into my gas tank, so it can flush the carburetor and have everything running smoothly. And thereafter, we're going to use regular gas for the summer. In between our cuts in the summertime, we're still going to go back to that super, because we want to keep that carburetor flushed and clean, so we won't have any issues with that. The last thing I want you to check for is your oil. This is very important, ladies. Do you see that oil? Can you see that on that stick? That is fairly okay, but I'm going to change my oil. Now, the only way to really change your oil, because it does not have a drainage on any of the lawnmowers, is to actually lean your lawnmower over to the side and pour it out into a pan of some sort. But I went by my local dollar store and purchased this turkey baster, so I would actually tilt it to the side and suck it through with this method, opposed to just trying to lift it over and pour it out until everything comes out. But you want to make sure that you have a pan. Once you're cleaning your oil container on your lawnmower, you want to make sure that you have a pan of some sort when you drain this oil out, because it doesn't have any screw on the side of any lawnmower to make sure that you do that. Now, it's very important as well to check your gauge. There is a gauge right here on your oil dipstick that will show you how far the oil should be. Now, there is a special kind of oil, and you must pick that up from your local hardware store. What I want you to do is to write down the type of lawnmower that you have, take it into your hardware store, and they will tell you what kind of oil to put in it. But checking mine is good. That's the color of the oil. It should be that color. So I'm good. I don't have to change it this year, because I try to keep my oil changed every year, but this looks pretty good, so it's not really time for me to change mine. So now that I have showed you the basic tips for getting started in cutting your grass for 2014, I want to show you some additional things that you must take notice of. Ladies, this is a self-propelled lawnmower. This will do all the work for you. You really don't have to do anything but walk behind it, and it's a great way to exercise. For those of you who are exercising for the summer, you really don't have to go to the gym. You can use this lawnmower and push it and cut your grass. It's very simple. You want to also make sure, this is just something extra and additional, you want to make sure that your lawnmower wheels are set to a certain height depending upon how tall your grass is. So if your grass is the length of mine, so I don't know if you can see my grass real good right now, but if it's anything doing the length of my grass, this is your setting. And this setting will adjust your wheels. Sometimes you may have a setting on the front wheel as well as the back wheels. But on this particular lawnmower, I only have my setting on the back. And it goes from 2 to 8. I normally try to keep it at a setting of really 2, because I want it to be the lowest. Also, as you're at your hardware store, pick up a good pair of outside gloves, because you're going to need this. Personally, I don't use them, but I would recommend that you use this to preserve your hands from cuts and nits and really making your hands look so rough. So pick you up a good pair of hardware gloves, or you can even go by your dollar store. They have these gloves for $1. And also, you want to pick up some lawn bags. You can get these from Home Depot or whatever your favorite hardware store is. You get 5 bags, I think, for like $2, I think it is. Okay, and also on this particular lawnmower, I have an attachment bag, so that is wonderful. I'm going to attach that from this end, place it here, relieve my handle, and I am all ready to go. Oh, and one last thing, for those of you who are allergic to the air or have allergies, go by your local hardware store as well to pick up some face masks, or you can pick it up from your local dollar store because they sell them just as well. But I have faith that you can do this. Try it. You can do it. Go to different yard sales. If you don't have a lawnmower, go to yard sales. Check all type of different social medias where people may be having sales or whatever. Check out in your neighborhoods. They may be having yard sales, because if I can do it, you can do it. It's very simple. And ladies, if you're trying to lose weight, like I told you, this is the best way to do it. I love working outside. I love being outside. I love doing yard work. I love it. I love it. I love planting flowers. Okay, so stay tuned for my next video, because I'm going to show you how to achieve a golf course lawn with a few simple things that you may need to buy from your local hardware store. But stay tuned. There is more to come. I'm going to head out right now and get some gasoline so I can get started on my yard. I want to do my first cut before I put these chemicals down. But I'm going to take you with me as well to the hardware store to show you what you need to purchase in order to achieve a golf course lawn. So, I hope you have enjoyed the time we've shared together. Until next time, be blessed.